You will not want to miss this. We have just released the must-have report of the year, Outlook 2025, why the worst is yet to come and how to prepare. This took months in the making. It's compiled from exclusive interviews. This report isn't speculation. It's built from a series of in-depth conversations. It's unfiltered insights from the experts, everyone ranging from Dr. Ron Paul, Gerald Celente, Danielle DiMartino Booth, and so many more. You can get it at DannyOutlook2025.com. Again, that's DannyOutlook2025.com. Will a powerful new currency soon hit Texas? Could we see the state opt out of the US dollar? Well, there's a news item that kind of went unnoticed that I want to discuss with my guest today. Eric Wade, author of America versus Americans. He's also my former colleague at Stansberry, the editor of Stansberry Innovations Report and Crypto Capital, one of the best experts to talk crypto, Bitcoin, gold. Eric, so good to be back with you.
Great to be back with you too, Danielle. I hope you're doing well.
Doing really well. I mean, look,
Good.
We're inching closer to $3,000 gold, Eric.
Pretty exciting. We've been talking for the last $1,000 worth of rally. I think we've been talking,
yes,
right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
all the way up. But
Yeah.
I wanted to get you on because I know you've just come out with a brand new report, and we'll fire up the link for everyone throughout this program, taking a deep dive into Texas and so much more. But you're looking at, could we see a revolution happening in Texas? Could they be opting out of the US dollar? And just to give some background here, in a quest for sound money, a Texas lawmaker filed two bills that, if passed, would create gold and silver-backed transactional currencies backed 100% by the underlying asset that would serve as legal tender in the state. This happened in November. Now, it went unnoticed. Obviously, it was during the election cycle, but this is, according to a report from the 10th Amendment Center, that this is happening in Texas. Give us the lowdown. Eric Wade.
First, I love to see that. Boy, is that statement just packed with wins for anybody who has done any economics homework even once in their life. Asset backed, yes, please, sign me up. Gold and silver, sign me up. I think gold is a good asset to hold regardless. And the fact that there could be a currency, okay, it has to be Texas, right? That we've talked for years about using XYZ as a currency, or where currency fits in with the world. But Texas coming out and saying, we don't necessarily want to stand here and watch the dollar die and not give Texans an option. So what's obvious? Backing your currency with gold and silver, for example, giving people gold and silver coins. Okay, that they didn't invent anything there, right? Like the news, maybe that's how it slipped past everyone's attention, was because we hear, oh, gold and silver coins, and anyone who's watching this video now is probably saying, boring. You know, my grandpa had gold and silver. My great-great-grandpa had, hey, my relatives brought a boatload full of gold coins over from the old country, right? Boring. Gold coins. Wait a minute. Sovereign state, right? A state saying we're going to accept these as currency and we're going to back them with digital technology that you can check to make sure the gold is really there and hold the gold in Texas. Okay, that's just to get you on the playing field, right? I would expect no less than for there to be a way to check that the gold is really there. But we're starting to separate ourselves maybe from Fort Knox a little. I can't check Fort Knox, but Texas coming through and saying, right? Oh, sure, I believe it's all there. Do I? I don't know. Show me the gold. That's what Texas is saying, is we're independent enough that we can go our own direction, but we can give users and investors exactly what they want out of this. We want a way to maybe avoid the dollar, a way to maybe have our purchasing power not eroded, and can I please just check on the value, the accuracy of, are the assets really there? Wow, now that is newsworthy.
And I think you just nailed it there, right? The catalyst, our purchasing power, right? Diminishing before our eyes. Talk to me about the timing of this all, right? Came out in November. Now with Trump in power, there's back to this America first mantra, save the dollar at all costs. You're going to go against the dollar. We're going to give you 100% tariffs. Strong dollar as we're speaking. Do you think that there's still going to be momentum for the movement?
So this is you take the good with the bad moment. And I think Texas is responding to that. At least giving people to do a little portion of opt-out, maybe, if they want. And there's two things I want to talk about from that, if I can keep from over-talking this first one.
Please.
Remember, here's where the good with the bad comes in, is we've got the benefit. We didn't have this benefit in November. We were optimistic about the idea of Department of Government efficiency, reducing the waste, increasing the efficiency, et cetera, right? What Elon Musk now is apparently doing with Doge department. But, and that sounds good. The idea that someone may care about America long term, the dollar, the debt, et cetera. But at the very same time, remember when Trump was saying, before I get in there, can we please have the debt ceiling increased or wiped out entirely? So we've got the same guy saying, I want to reduce waste and increase efficiency and save the dollar and reduce the debt, but I may have to go through $57 trillion of debt level on my way there. So there's your timing. There's a big, huge red flag being waved for anybody who, you can be as patriotic as you want to be. You could be pro-Texas, pro-America, pro-Trump. I don't care. If we have to go through $57 trillion worth of debt ceiling before we start getting the benefits of that, then yeah, I would like to have my dollars maybe off on the side somewhere backed by gold. Come out of dollars, between 37 trillion and 57 trillion proposed debt ceiling raised. And you don't hear much about that either, right? Or am I barking up the wrong tree on that?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. We haven't heard about that. So if you go to your the homepage, ericmessage.com of your report, it says early adopters are making a lot of money off of this. So if you could explain to this a little bit, because it says an imminent announcement from Texas lawmakers could see it completely overshadow President Trump's plans, forever changing America's money system. How do you capitalize on this movement?
Well, that's what I love about being with Stansberry, and you'll remember that from Stansberry is there's two parts of every story, right? There's the what's going on, and we're talking about that, and I think your audience knows what's going on, and then there's the, well, okay, how do I make this make me money, right? What's my play on that? One of the tried and true plays for this is try to get in the path of progress, try to figure out where's the money going, okay? Texas, or are you saying, Eric, I should go buy some land in Texas? No, I'm the crypto guy, right? About crypto and technology, but I also partner up with one of Stansberry's absolute best researchers, writers, editors, one of the most brilliant minds you've ever heard in technology and biotech, named John Engel. And that's the innovations report, is we go out and we find opportunities for maybe path of progress, maybe picks and shovels. Like, okay, if Texas is going to be doing all of this innovation, and if sound money is a wave that's crashing around America, around the world. The dollar looks strong today because of the possibility of trade wars, but we think the dollar may have some trouble. Let's think back to when the last time there was a massive gold rush. What were my plays? What kind of technologies do we need if this starts coming true? So that's what we look for, and that's what we write about, is can you find me something that the company is trading contracts, or owning royalties or innovating new technologies and get paid off of those, because those can be really straightforward. It can be crypto sometime. I write about crypto. John Engel writes about stocks. So that one report, you can get it from ericmessage.com. That one report, stocks and cryptos that are going to cash in on this. So if any portion of your brain is saying, yeah, Trump did say $57 trillion maybe of national debt before he can get the economy where he wants it to be to start paying off the debt, and you're thinking, and there is something going on in Texas and Wyoming and New Mexico and 16 different states are now talking about, well, maybe we should own some assets that don't depreciate like this, right? Texas is the number one. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But I just want people that are listening to this to think this isn't just smoke. This isn't just an alarm bell that we have a strategic plan for, well, how do I make this make me some money? If I see the same signs, enough so that Texas wants a gold and silver currency and they want Bitcoin to be a legal tender in Texas as well, fine. That's the news. What's the strategy? We're going to make some money off of that as well. And it's by buying the companies that are going to take advantage of this and that are going to benefit from it.
You said a very important sentence right there. The dollar looks strong. And how much does President Trump know this perhaps? And maybe we're reading into things, but perhaps that's really the story that's fueling the threats to the BRICS or to other nations that even think about, using anything outside of the U.S. dollar. So very interesting, Eric. I want to also ask you about the executive order banning central bank digital currencies. The country was moving towards a central bank digital currency. Then Trump said, forget it. Your thoughts on it, your take on it.
Well, in the last administration, we got some what sounded like great executive orders, including digital innovation, that we're going to responsibly lead the world on that. And Trump's executive orders wiped some of those out because we never got any progress on it. But what we did get was very half-hearted, we're not going to have a central bank digital currency reassurances, while the federal banks were continuing to research it. Both Boston and San Francisco were continuing to research that, and some of that technology, some of that innovation was making its way around the world, where other countries were using what we were coming up with for central bank digital currencies to try to push their own forward. So they were talking out of both sides of their mouth, right? Investors were probably freaking out, thinking, I don't want a central bank digital currency. And I'm glad to see that the lip service was there in the last administration, but they were continuing to research them. So I'm very glad to see Trump come out with an EO saying, absolutely, we won't do that. And that is, we've always said, central bank digital currency, very anti-American. Now we're very close to digital dollars now. I mean, we've got the FedNow technology, right? They can trace dollars, they can move dollars almost instantaneously. Some of that is making its way onto blockchain, but the stable coins that are starting to get a lot of popularity, hundreds of billions of dollars in stable coins right now on blockchain. I think that's people voting with their wallet, right? That's people saying, whether I believe the government or not about this central bank digital currency, and the digital dollar is just one step away from that. Stable coins are different. You can't stop them. Okay, there's a whole spectrum of stable coins. Some of them are more independent than others, but some of the stable coins that are out there that want to get a positive nod from the U.S. regulators, they're starting to look a little bit like central bank digital currencies.
I had Matthew Piepenburg's on, and it's a fantastic episode. I urge everyone to watch it. And that was his point, is that, okay, they're making it look that they're getting rid of a central bank digital currency. It's a magic trick, he said. This vanishes, but it's replaced by this, and voila, it's the exact same thing, but just not labeled a central bank digital currency. So whatever it is that creates a digital dollar, will this not still be able to trace our every movement, know everything we do?
No, because well, no, because they're not like the threat of a true central bank digital currency is that, let's say the government mints some more dollars, printing press goes, turns on, puts some more dollars out. Those get out into the community. Those get into my payroll. That gets into my bank. And then I go out and buy guns and butter or whatever it is. And they know that. Or I support the Canadian truckers or something, right? So from the beginning of the creation of those dollars onward, all of that is an unbroken path. And obviously there's always the control freak argument that, well, we can stop crime with that. Okay, you can stop crime, but you can also stop freedom with that, right? That's the two sides of the argument. Technology of blockchain, and I don't want to get too nutty on this because I kind of want to stay positive about that. There are, like, the state of Texas is saying our residents need something that's set all that aside. But blockchain has the capability of creating stable coins that aren't mimicking that. They may be priced in dollars, but they're not mimicking that procedure of having to go through central bank and then the payroll. And then there's dollars out there. Throw aside the top two, Tether and Circle Coin, the USDC. There's other stable dollars out there that in no way are handing that information over to anybody, not tracking it, not capable of that. So I think there may be a shuffling of stable coins. If we do start to feel like USDC or USDT Tether, well, they're getting a little too cozy with the government, then we will. And then, hey, then maybe we'll start all carrying those Texas coins.
Yep. I like how you said that.
Maybe Texas, go ahead and mint me some gold and some silver coins, and I'll take a little trip to Dallas, and I'll load my pocket with them, and I'll come back to where I live now. Right? They can't stop me from leaving with them, can they?
I want to get your thoughts, just to wrap here on the rally we've seen in gold, because I've always said Eric's one of those rare breeds. He loves Bitcoin, but he also likes gold. He has respect for gold. And, we've, like he's mentioned, we've spoken throughout this $1,000 rally. That's how long we've been speaking. And one of the things that often came up is, how will gold live? What will gold look like, during Bitcoin's growth? Well, here we are, all-time highs, uncharted territory. We're marching towards $3,000 an ounce. Your thoughts on what's happening in gold, your thoughts on what's happening in Bitcoin. But first, gold.
Gold rallying while the dollar appears to be strong is amazing. It's just I know I love economics, and I'm probably boring some people to tears every time I whip out macroeconomics, but gold rallying with a strong dollar means gold is even stronger than you think it is. Gold typically should not trade against the dollar, but you would imagine a strong dollar, gold would be flat or down, and you'd say, that's fine though, because it's buying me a dollar, if I was to trade my gold in, buying me a dollar that's worth more against a basket of currencies. But the world economic system, the world economic scenario that we find ourselves in is just so screwed up, for lack of a better word, that we've got $100 billion trading partners, Mexico and Canada, and their currencies cratered over the weekend when Trump said what Trump was going to do, telegraphed this for months. I'm going to do trade, right? I'm going to get these guys in line. Well, guess who he hasn't talked about yet? He teased about Europe, big trading partners there. What about Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Korea, right? Like all of their currencies have to reprice themselves as well versus the dollar. If Trump said maybe Canada and Mexico trade war spooked people enough. And I know you asked about gold, but I'm talking about trade war because those things aren't separate. That there used to be a time that all trade, a couple of hundred years ago, all trade was show me the gold. Your local currency, silk, spices, lumber, whatever, ores, fine, that sounds good, but show me your gold. And I think the world is maybe saying, okay, gold hasn't gone away. Gold has an inarguable value. It's a global value that we can all look at. And so there's got to be countries around the world that are saying, if we don't have some assets, if we don't have some gold, if we can't sustain the negotiating period that's coming with America, with Team Trump, then we're going to collapse. And so there's demand for gold, I think, everywhere. And why wouldn't America be demanding gold as well? If our trend is towards, I want to back our currency with something, gold has to be in that mix. Has to be. I think gold is going to $3,500, and that's a good and bad day when that happens.
This year?
Because
this year?
No, no. I think it'll take a while. Give it a couple of years. But I think gold is going to $3,500, and it's going to be a very sad day when it happens, because that will mark. Remember, gold went off the peg to the dollar at $35. So going from $35 gold to $3,500 gold will mark a 99% collapse of the dollar versus gold.
Yes.
And the dollar has been leading. The dollar's been the best currency. So if even the best currency has plunged 99% versus gold, I think gold,
And just finally, thoughts on where does Bitcoin go from here for you?
$1 million in our lifetime. I don't see how Bitcoin doesn't hit at least 200 to 250 in this cycle. In the next year, I think Bitcoin is going to get to 200 to 250, because I think there really are trillions of dollars of wealth out there that are looking for something that they can maybe make some money on, but maybe how they can get out of the carnage that's going on with our terrible economy. You saw how the DeepSeek innovation rocked the world's markets. DeepSeek, which AI, we all know about AI. AI wasn't a shock, but when DeepSeek came out and said, "Oh, we can do this a little cheaper," the world equities markets cratered on that. Nvidia lost 20%, $600 billion, and hasn't entirely recovered. The world is ready for maybe some stability. I think the case for gold and the case for Bitcoin, they may not be intertwined, but they're kind of similar.
There you go. Eric Wade, if you want to read more all about Eric's musings, you can go to ericmessage.com. He has that full report for you there. Eric, come back soon. Check in with us.
Good to see you again.
Yeah,
good to see you again.
You,
glad to hear you're doing well.
Yes, losing my voice, but I'm still at it. Thank you, Eric Wade. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe at danielacambone.com and to our YouTube channel. It just keeps us going, gives us that drive to keep creating great content for you all. That's it for me. We'll see you soon.